What's up, everybody? Frank Valkyria. Welcome to the channel. I hope you're doing, as always, fantastic. Your Saturday morning, how is it going? Or afternoon or evening? Let me know in the comment below, because it's important. Especially if you have done number 2 and number 1. All of those simple things. Alright? Just clearing up the basics here. Anyway, we have to prepare the terrain. We have to soil the terrain, because we are speaking of somebody here, okay, of relevance in that manner. And we're talking about AH, another AH moment. I got confused this morning because last week, you remember, we had a motion. There are motions going on of their lawyers, of her lawyers, trying to dismiss the trial for the money, that there was no basis for it, the money were too much to pay, and so on and so forth. And then yesterday I saw these other news and I thought it was referring to the same thing. Stay tuned, you're still there. And matter of fact, it was something new. A sort of memorandum. I don't know if it's exactly a new motion, but they filed some of the documents stating that they want a mistrial. Look at this. Amber H demands a retrial and claims juror who sided with Johnny Depp in $8 million court fight impersonated the real juror who had the matching last name. Oh my God, where are we going here? Where are we going here? So in this other article here says that, let's see from the start. According to the filing, including in the jury panel list was an individual with the date of birth 1945, meaning the individual would have been 77-year-old during the trial. Good math. However, an individual who is 52-year-old and lives at the same address as the 77-year-old was the person who appeared for jury duty and sat on the jury, the filing alleges. Wow, I have so many questions, you have no idea. The part that I'm interested in was this part right here of the article where they interviewed, or they asked former U.S. attorney Neama Ramani, which said that the allegation made by H legal team is no ground, right there, for a mistrial or for the verdict to be overturned. All right. Ramani continues, said that the juror mix-up could have been an innocent mistake, in which case H argument will fail. Even if it was intentional, her lawyer will have to prove that the juror misconduct would have resulted in a challenge of cause. That means that the wrong juror could not have been fair or impartial, and that's a tough hurdle for them to overcome, Ramani said. Well, my question is, first of all, they must have allowed this to happen. They scrutiny before, and they must have given a go. So, okay, we are fine with those jury, I suppose. So now they're going back on their steps. I'm pretty sure that both parties had to agree with those people being there. So if they did agree, now even if there was an alleged mix-up in age, perhaps, I don't know if this is true, could be basically the same person living in the house. Is it a son or something of the other person? Could be. But this is not being clarified yet. Fairfax County juror, like right here, says questionnaire webpage furthers this goal, the safety goal, by requiring all county residents to log in using their 7-digit juror number, zip code, and birth date. Those safeguards are in place and relied upon by the parties to verify the identity of the correct juror to ensure due process and fair trial for all litigants, the filing states. And I would have bang! And I would have bang! It's just aerobic, okay? It's just aerobic. Some people know it's aerobic. So it seems like, again, there's no ground for that. But they're going on and on and on and on with this fake juror theory. Every magazine now is covering this. This literally came out yesterday. And it's not the end. It's not the end. One thing, before we switch to this other news, is now I'm really expecting JD's team to counterfile something. This seems to require like some kind of different voice to come in. It's like hey, And also, I'm curious whether the judge can do something here, because I'm sure that the judge at Scarate, it's like, oh my god, she's rolling the eyes like a slot machine, like it's like, oh my god, I want to go in holiday and I have to deal with those lawyers and people. It is sad because, of course, this is probably a loophole. They start speculation whether or not they knew this in the beginning, and if they let it run because they knew that then afterwards they could use this in case they lost, perhaps, I don't know, allegedly. So you ask yourself a lot of questions here, and I'm like, but still, if both they agreed with that setup for a jury, then I'm like, now what do you want exactly? So the truth is that this only makes her goal, like, which is probably restart her career or to look like that she was the real victim, plausible. But in fact, it actually makes her, like, you know, this goal like fade away even faster, distanciating herself from actually what she wants to achieve even further. So, and again, people even being more enraged, apart a bunch of followers or supporter in her case, which they still believe whatever they want to believe. There's hundreds of millions of people or more which they're just tired of this whole charade, and also to be gaslit to this extent, you know. Even if they will succeed, people will be just like, we can't stand you any longer for this reason, for the manipulation of the media, the manipulation of the law and the trial, and still gaslighting every single week. It's insane. And the problem are not only there, because you remember that there was this lady always sitting in the back there that was from this insurance company, which apparently it's supposed to be the one footing the bill for the 8 million plus. But now it seems like, look at this. AH Insurance Company refuses to cover up the 8 million in damage she owes her ex-husband Johnny Depp because her defamation was willful and malicious. You gotta sing this out. Baritone, tenor, bass, whatever voice you have, contralto, alto, soprano, you sing it. Malicious, something like that. Oh man, this is gonna be nuts. This is gonna be absolutely nuts. And it's funny that comes in conjunction, those two articles. Sorry, I need coffee. I'm a great proponent of drinking water and a beverage of your choice, coffee. So now it feels much better. So it feels like we haven't got the jing, we gotta find a way to not pay. So that also, there is a rhyme right there. You can use it as a poetry if you wish. So that's it. I'm like a little bit like, oh my god, when do we see the end of this? But again, now I do expect some kind of official reply from Johnny team, from the court, from the judge. Something's got to happen here, because I'm pretty sure that whoever it's involved, if it's not true that this is a issue of this juror, they're gonna be quite upset, because they've been putting a lot of dirt on those people. And then if it's true, we can find out whether or not really is something relevant, because at the end of the day, they did accept, you know, those people sitting there. So you cannot before accept and now you regret it. You know, you got to make up your mind. Okay, you got to make up your mind. So guys, more news to come. Go check the other videos of today. Also, first of all, thank you so much for the support. You make my day every single freaking time. Thank you so much. Consider subscribing if you want. I would truly appreciate that. And I'm gonna drink coffee.